Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Chris, I think that you get to start us off tonight. Welcome to Christine Aubrey, the board chair for Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity.
Thank you, Megan. And yes, good afternoon to everyone. It's really wonderful to be here with you all. And we are thrilled to be having you join us for today's virtual wall raising, and begin by letting you know, as you may have seen, that this session will be recorded today. We're really excited to report that the first walls of 3 homes to be built on Birds Pit Road in Northampton project are up. That means 3 families have taken the first steps on their journey toward becoming first-time homeowners. We're also excited to note that women volunteers played a key role in getting construction underway last week during Women's Build Week. I can personally say that I know the rewards of coming to build on a Habitat site. I came with my team from Coldwell Banker Community Realtors during Women's Build Week. And as you will see in the video that's coming up, we had the honor of raising one of the first walls on the project. We also had the honor of working side by side with the to-be homeowners, Emily and Patrick. We are also deeply grateful to the City of Northampton for the donation of land and for the innovative design contest the city hosted to develop the concept of building 3 compact green homes on this property. You will hear more about that in a few minutes. We also thank the Northampton Community Preservation Committee for their considerable financial support and early support from our good friends from the Federal Home Loan Bank of Boston, and home sponsorships from Florence Bank and Jack Horner and Ron Skin are tremendously appreciated as well. Unfortunately, they were unable to join us this evening, and we ask you to join in thanking them for the many ways they partner with us and families who are ready to get into their first homes. And now, Jane Anderson, a former board member who is on the Family Support Committee, will share with us an acknowledgement of the origins of this land.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to try to stay out of this beam of sun here. As we dedicate this new home, the new homes that will be built on this property in current day Northampton, we would like to acknowledge that they stand on unceded land of the Nipmuc, meaning freshwater people, and the Pecumtuck, meaning clear stream people, who settled and worked this land before the colonists arrived. And more specifically, the Nipmuc, a branch of the Nipmuc called the Nonotuck, very familiar word to all of us, settled in the area of the Oxbow near where current day Smith College stands. Although members of those tribes are still among us, we don't hear much about them because they were mostly killed by disease or war, or were driven off their land by the colonists. Those that remained fled to the Abenaki territory to our north, or the Mohawk territory to our west, and were assimilated into those tribes. Thank you.
Sorry. I will turn the program over now to Pioneer Valley Habitat Executive Director, Megan McDonough, who will take you through the rest of this afternoon's ceremony.
If I can get to my unmute button. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I'm really excited to see everyone here and so many people who took time on their busy weekday schedule to be excited about 3 small energy efficient homes to be built in Northampton. Welcome volunteers, staff, board, supporters, and future homeowners. This project is the exciting result of years of work in contemplating what is big enough and how can we build zero energy possible homes. The volunteers in our community are amazing and build really great houses. And the hard work of these builders and designers is starting to get recognized, or maybe continuing to be recognized, I should say. At a combined virtual and in-person conference of thousands of worldwide members of the Habitat for Humanity community, our very own affiliate, Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity, took top honors in an affiliate design contest for this project. This honor, which came with a $25,000 cash prize, is awarded to the best all-around example of the potential for affordable housing. A panel of judges deemed the Broughton's Meadow design, conceived by Simple City Studios, to be, and I quote, an excellent example of what housing can achieve: affordable to build and operate, climate resilient, developed in partnership, adaptable for families of various sizes, and inviting for all ages and abilities. Hats off to Simple City Studio and Brian Baker for their hard work on this design. We are fortunate that Brian has been with us on this project since the beginning, and you will hear from him in a few minutes. In addition to the supporters Christine just mentioned, I'd also like to thank all the contributors to this project to date. Hold on one second. So in addition to the supporters Christine just mentioned, I'd like to thank all the contributors to the project to date. We know we will share more with you when the project is completed, and some of these thank yous go to groups and businesses who have pledged support in the coming months, and others that have been on the path with us for years. First, of course, the City of Northampton, including the Office of Planning and Sustainability in the Community Preservation Committee, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Boston, Florence Bank, Jack Horner and Ron Skin, Simple City Studios, PV Squared, Bill Ashley, Kohl's Building Supply, Emerson Way LLC, Local Energy Advocates of Western Massachusetts, the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, Mass Save, Timothy Riley, Esquire, Smith Vocational and Agricultural High School, and so many more. Shout out to, once again, to Tom Adams and the real life production crew for filming the raising of the actual walls so that we can share that with you today. And thanks to the neighbors and other community supporters. And as always, thanks to our fearless, dedicated project leaders, the members of the volunteer build team, and to the community volunteers who work tirelessly to bring Habitat projects to fruition. Let's hear now from some of those early supporters of this project. I started with the City of Northampton earlier because this land was came from, oh, you know what, I'll let the city tell you all about this. But we have 3 speakers from the city, and first we get to start with the mayor of the City of Northampton, Gina Louise Chera. Thank you so much for being here and for your support.
Thank you. I am so thrilled to be here and to participate in this virtual wall raising for Broughton Meadow. I am very proud that the City of Northampton has supplied every lot that Habitat has built on in Northampton for the last 30 years. And as mayor now, I am absolutely thrilled to continue this partnership. A partnership in which we collaborate to address one of the biggest issues in the Commonwealth, and certainly we feel it acutely here in Northampton, and that is affordable housing and affordable home ownership. And for me, one of the most deeply moving and meaningful areas that I've worked on in my time in public service is the creation of affordable family housing. I'm so also grateful for Habitat's commitment and innovation around sustainable building and energy efficiency, which helps us move towards our own carbon neutrality goals here in the city. So thank you for that commitment. And I wanna thank you all for the remarkable work that you do. And I wanna give a special thanks to the speakers that are coming after me. Wayne Fiden, Director of Planning and Sustainability here for Northampton. And I want to recognize my colleague on the City Council, Ward 6, Councilor Mary Ann Labarge. I thank them both for their tireless work and their advocacy. And I thank you so much, Megan, and all of you for giving me the absolute privilege of sharing this exciting event with you all. So thank you.
Wonderful. Well, I think you did a great job of introducing the next speaker. So Wayne Fiden, if you would like to say a few words, we're privileged to have you here from the Director of Planning and Sustainability for the City of Northampton.
Thanks. As the mayor said, this is certainly a project that we're very proud of, and incredible work from Habitat. The mayor talked about the city's commitment for affordable housing, and part of that is we think about affordable housing not just as a box to put things in, but as part of every project we do. So this project actually came when we were preserving about 100 acres of land as permanently protected open space. And we looked at the land and said, we want to protect this, whatever it was, 95 acres, but we think we can carve out 10 building lots. That's really important to serve as, have both market rate housing and affordable housing. And just to give you a sense, when the mayor talked about city council, to give you a sense of how, I don't know, I guess the politics have changed over the 30 years I've been doing this. When we started, we used to carve out sort of one lot for Habitat. I think Ryan Road was the first one we did. And I remember the council at the time saying, wait, shouldn't we be leaving it to private sector developers to do housing? When we came to council for this project, I think we originally said we're going to create, I forgot the exact number, but it might have been 6 lots. And it was council who said, wait, we really like these limited development projects where you carve out lots. Can you do more than that? So the council resolution was a minimum of whatever the number was, 6 lots. So we're really proud. And as the mayor said, we hope we can keep finding more lots for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. We really appreciate your planning and in the many senses of that word. So thank you for your hard work to make affordable housing part of the priorities. Mary Ann Labarge, we would love to hear from you, your Ward 6 City Councilor.
Yes, hi Megan and everybody else. And I want to say that our mayor, Gina Louise Shera, has been for affordable housing as long as I've known her on the city council, and also affordable homes for families. I have to agree. I am honored to have the 3 single family homes on Pertspit Road. And I also want to congratulate the 3 families that are coming into Ward 6, and they are in a new, what do I want to say, road and path that they are following of owning their own homes. And that has been something that as counselors, and especially me hearing for many, many years, of how they cannot afford to live in this city. And our mayor, Gina Louise Shera, and also Wayne Fiden, and city councilors all want affordable housing and affordable homes. You can come into Ward 6 anytime you want and put up affordable homes, because I support that 100%. If I look back, now Jack Horner and Ron Skin, I know them very, very well, very, very supportive of affordable housing. And when we had, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 units of condos on West Stanton Road, they were very supportive with me of having those placed there. And then we ended up on Ryan Road years ago with the housing, well, 2 families, I think it was there. And then I lost that ward for 10 years and on that side of Ryan Road. And I got them back now, and I'm proud of that. And then I have on Glendale Road, which was, that project is completed. And I have 4 units of condos, which is set way back, beautiful scenery in the back, it's wooded. And then we have the single family home right on the edge of the road on Glendale Road, and it fits in perfect. I am very proud of Habitat for Humanity. I will support them always, always. And I want to thank Megan and everybody from Habitat for the work that you do to make it happen and work with our city of Northampton. And I'm hoping that eventually we get more land here in Ward 6 so we can continue on. So thank you very much. And I also want to thank, I guess, Andrew Quinn, I think that's his last name, for the pictures that he did are just absolutely beautiful. So please thank him for me for that.
Wonderful, Marianne. Thank you so much. I'll put the there's a watercolor artist in Shelburne Falls who did a rendering of these 3 houses. Andrew Quiet, I think, is how it's with a Q at the last name. I'll put the link to his webpage in the chat in a little bit.
Okay, great. I'll buy one.
Excellent. Thank you for your ongoing support over the many years. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, we'd like to hear a little bit more from the designers. I've already told you that Simple City Studios is award-winning for this project, and I'm excited to hear from Brian Talbaker. Oh, there we go.
Thanks, Megan. So you already said a lot. It's an honor to win the award and the grant for that competition. This is actually the second set of 3 houses that I've worked on with Habitat. Worked on the Glendale Road houses as well. And this project, I guess I've been involved with since the competition 4.5 years ago about it started. You know, the reason I'm doing another set of houses with Habitat is because it's a pleasure. It's rare for a residential architect to be able to do stuff that's this impactful, that has the ability to really have outcomes on, you know, the social, economic, and environmental level that are all really, really amazing. And, you know, Habitat's ability to leverage community and goodwill to make these sorts of things happen is so important. Because everyone deserves to be housed, and unfortunately, not everyone is able to be. And to provide these opportunities is something that I think is incredibly important. And as an architect and designer, I'm really happy to be able to help in order to achieve some of these outcomes. And, you know, happy to help on future ones as well. So thanks very much for the opportunity.
I think we're the lucky ones here, Brian. I'm glad to hear that you're still willing to work with us. That is exciting news. So thank you for your commitment to building simple, durable, beautiful homes. And speaking of building, I'd love to hear from one of our volunteer builders from the leadership team for this project, which Brian has been participating in as well, Bill Levine. If you'd like to unmute yourself.
I think that worked. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So the build team has been meeting, I think, since June of 2021. We've had, by my count, 30 meetings so far. They've been a lot on Zoom. They've been a lot on site. They've been in cold and rain and snow and a lot of mud. But we've been meeting on a weekly basis, sometimes on a bi-weekly basis, depending when we got deep into the winter time. Our team is large, led by Megan, of course, and Brian. We've also had Michael Broad and Rob and John and I and David Dunn, whose arm is still in pain because of all the twisting we did to get him to come over and work with us on this project from across the river. Eric, as a relatively new member of the professional team for Habitat, has been instrumental in getting us to a great start on this project. We've had interns. We've had Ryan from Wright Builders has been working with us. And we've had the unusual situation of having Smith Voke taking the lead on building one of our houses. So at various times, the teachers, instructors from Smith Voke have participated in the team build meetings and have been essential to what we've tried to do. We've been working since last June or so, from the point where design had to be finalized. We had lots of challenges along the way, having to do with matters involving storm drainage and energy efficiency, net zero energy requirements, coordinating with the Emerson Way people who are building around us, and who've been very, very helpful to us, and subcontractors that we've shared with them. And part of all of our various jobs has been to coordinate with all of those people at various different times. Heating, cooling.
Bill, you went on mute.
I accidentally pressed a button I shouldn't have pressed. We are doing things we haven't done before in terms of water heating specifically. And we're on the cutting edge of technology that way. Every time something that comes up, it means a lot more work for Brian. And Brian has been cheerful in doing it and efficient, and has been very tolerant of some pretty dumb questions he's heard along the way from those of us whose background is not as building professionals. The special leadership we've had from Brian and Megan and Eric has been significant. The support of the build team, the building committee led by Walt, has been essential to what we've done. Last fall, we got to the point where we were able to have the foundation walls poured, and our goal was to have the slabs poured, and the weather did not cooperate with us. So we had a mad dash this spring through all kinds of inclement weather to get the pad insulated and poured, got it done, got it going. And since then, we've been having regular work days. I think it's been about 3 weeks that we've had, and that's about maybe 4 weeks. We've had excellent turnouts. We had Women's Build Week, which was a real boon to getting us going. I briefly got the chance to boss Christine around a little bit on the slab, which serving under her on the board was sort of a good turnaround. But she was excellent, and her people were excellent. And the people on the team, many of us have become old friends from previous projects, from bonding over building COVID buildings over at Glendale. John Hoffman has taken the laboring oar in dealing with all the vendors, or many of them, constantly on the phone to people trying to get things ordered and trying to get things on time, including next week when trusses will arrive. And we will start to do closing in of the buildings. And one of the great pleasures of being on these build teams and working on these buildings is getting to know the families. And we have just started doing that. Joe has worked with us several days, and he's a hoot and a pleasure to work with. Emily and Patrick were there on the day of the wall raising, when all went well. So we continue to work. We'll be working weekly as a team on Monday afternoons to tee up each week's work. And we'll keep doing it until we can deliver these houses. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you, Bill. It's amazing. Every time I hear someone else speak, I'm reminded of all the many partners it takes to build a Habitat house, from our, Smith Vocational Plumbing, Electrical, and Carpentry are all involved in this project. The Western Mass Energy Advocates who are helping us with the water heating. There's just so much that goes into making a project like this successful. I'd like to turn things over to a few of the community supporters of this project. And remind people that they can, but before I do that, I do want to remind people that they can go volunteer with Bill and the other members of the Build team on the construction site. So go to pvhabitat.org if you want to sign up as a construction volunteer. And one of the people who did that this past week is our state representative, Lindsay Sabadosa. And I would love it if you would say a few words, Lindsay. Representative Sabadosa, I'm sorry for being informal.
Lindsay is great. Thank you so much. It is such an honor to be here with all of you this evening and to hear a little bit about the trajectory of these projects, from the city making sure that Habitat had the land, to the design, to the actual work. And I feel like I get to just talk about the fun part, which was participating in the Women Build Week. So since there's not going to be a quiz, I'm going to pretend that I understand the difference between a galvanized nail and a 16-penny nail. I kind of sort of understand the difference, but I have to tell you what an amazing experience it was to go. And when I arrived, they, asked if we had any experience. I have none. I can demolish things, build things, not so much. But I was really excited to learn about power tools. So I am now someone who has actually used multiple types of saws, and I need to get one for my house because let me tell you, that is a wonderful stress relief. But I would encourage anyone to go and to volunteer. The Women Build Week was an incredible experience, not only because of the power tools and because we got to raise two walls, something that I never thought I would do in my life, but I have to say it was an incredible community experience too. Despite how much fun those saws are, actually just sitting around and getting to know some of the women in this community was really fabulous. And to have conversations about our kids and school and our experience maintaining our own houses and homes was just so fulfilling. There is really no better way to spend a day than getting to know people you might not come across otherwise. So please, if you have the opportunity, go out and do this. Affordable housing, like our mayor said, and our wonderful city councilor and city planner mentioned, is so critical in the Valley. The UMass Donahue Institute tells us we need another 17,000 units to meet demand that are below $500 a month, and another 1,500 at less than 1,000. That's an amazing number of people who can't afford or are being priced out of our community, and we don't want that. We want all those lovely people here with us, and we want them in homes that they can be proud of, and that's what Habitat does. So I am just honored to be here amongst all of you this evening, and thank you for giving me that experience, and I will certainly be back, hopefully, on another day that requires more sawing.
Thank you. That was the wonderful endorsement of volunteering for Habitat and the importance of affordable housing. So thank you so much. And it does take a community to build these houses. It takes people showing up and doing the volunteer work, the hands-on with the saws. It also takes financial supporters as well. We have to buy the materials, even with discounts from local vendors like Kohl's. We still need to get out there and put the package together. So I'd like to now hear from a couple of our financial supporters. Jess, do you want to play the video from someone who couldn't be here tonight?
Hello, I'm Jack Horner, and my husband Ron and I are very pleased to be supporting this Habitat for Humanity project. I'm sorry that we can't be here for today's wall raising, but we extend our congratulations to the families who will live here and hope that they will enjoy their homes as much as all the other Habitat homeowners in the past have. This is a great day for you, and best wishes to everyone.
Thank you, Jack. Now I'd like to hear from someone who cares deeply about solar energy being on our projects. Bill Ashley.
Hello. First of all, I'd like to thank Amy Landry for getting me to this church on time. One additional comment, there's a piece that runs in the newspaper featuring the word empower when it comes to Habitat for Humanity. And that is certainly true. But solar panels makes it Empower Plus. And once they've been turned on, I look forward to helping the owners to capitalize to the greatest extent on this extra piece of the property. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Bill, along with PV squared that combined are making solar energy possible for this project, which is going to help these houses have the potential to be zero net energy. So the next part of this is maybe one of my favorite, is that we get to see some walls going up. Okay. So even though we're not all together in person, which I would have appreciated even more, we are going to get to see a few walls going up now. So Jess, if you want to share the video from Real Life Productions.
Well, basically today we are doing our ceremonial first wall raising here on the site in Broughton's Meadow. We're putting up 3 houses in this area. Actually, Pioneer Valley's doing 2 of them, and Smith Voc is doing the 3rd, the carpentry students at Smith Voc. So today, this is both the start of our Women's Build Week and the ceremonial wall raising. We are getting ready to put up the first wall, which is always exciting. We have a great contingent from Coldwell Banker here today to help us with that. The Women's Build is basically an annual event with Habitat for Humanity. It's a 1-week time period where we make an extra effort to encourage women to come and join in the building of the houses. Learn some new skills. Sometimes they know more than I do, which is always fun, but that's okay too. We need all the help we can get. But it's an opportunity for women that don't have a chance very often to run a saw or hammer sheathing onto a wall, to get involved and do some carpentry.
It has been a very emotional experience for both of us, and we've really enjoyed everything that's happened. It's just wonderful that we've been included in so much of the process. I like the fact that they say they're giving a hand up, not a handout.
Yeah, look, you got your hammer right there, right?
Yes, I am ready.
That's great.
It's going to be a wonderful experience in and of itself, and being here is going to be just a bonus. It'll be the icing on the cake. And I said I didn't think I was going to be this emotional, but it is.
It's going to be very handicap accessible. It's incredible. It's a dream come true.
It's just an opportunity that I never thought we'd ever come across. Habitat for Humanity just made it all reachable. I am so blessed. I am so honored. It's just an incredible, incredible feeling. And I am so thankful. I wish, I could do more, being handicapped. They'll work with me. They'll put me to work here today on the job site, and it's like I'm just blessed and honored.
Homeowners are required to put in several hundred hours of sweat equity, we call it, participation in the building of their home. Habitat doesn't build a home and then find an owner. They find the owner first so that the owner can participate in the actual building process.
The application process is long. It took a lot to even get us to apply, because we were like, we're never gonna make it. I mean, I just figured there's so much need right now that there would be a lot of applicants, and there were. But we kept going anyway because we were like, we're desperate. We're desperate, we need something. So it was winning the lottery. Oh my God, it's been great. They're also willing to help and wanting to help. Even with everything that's going on, even when everyone is so spent, they're still showing up and they're still finding something to give. And that gives me so much hope.
Time to raise the wall. Come on. You ready?
Drum roll.
We're going to lift slightly. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so.
Okay. That looks good to me.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right.
Yay! All right. That's starting to look like a house now.
I think ultimately there are 10 or 12 houses in this area. There are going to be 3 more houses behind these 3. One in the woods over there, a couple in the woods down here. These are the Habitat houses, these two. The owner gave this property to Habitat to put up this affordable housing. We have great help from the town. Yeah, Northampton is very supportive of us. They obviously want to get affordable housing into their town.
My name is Catherine, and I have been chosen from the lottery for Habitat, and I'm very excited about this blessing because it's been very difficult where I live. Because of medical issues, my home is not working out, and it's also providing me the ability to have the stability that renting does not have. So I feel very, very fortunate, and I look forward to being a homeowner through Habitat. I just can't say enough how grateful I am.
I mean, to have actually a home, it's incredible. I mean, you can't wipe the smile off my face. I am just so honored and blessed. Even if you don't believe it could happen, like to actually have the winning ticket, to be blessed with the opportunity, it's really fulfilled me as a person because, like I said, being handicapped is a real challenge and it's depressing and, the things like that, the drawbacks. But Habitat for Humanity, they give you an opportunity and, like I said, reach for the stars and they'll help you reach them.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty amazed about these future homeowners and the volunteers that are going to make this project happen. I usually, if we were all on the construction site together, I would ask you to write your well wishes directly on some 2x4s and with a Sharpie. I think we can have an intern do that later if you'll put those well wishes in the chat box. So please, we're going to hear in a moment from the mentors who are also dedicated volunteers for Habitat and the future homeowners. And feel free to add comments into the chat that we can pass on and write on a few of these actual walls next week. So the first mentor I would like to introduce is Donna, who is mentoring Emily and Patrick. All our volunteer mentors put in a tremendous amount of work to learn about Habitat and be the ambassadors for these new homeowners and this journey to home ownership. So Donna, if you take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Donna. When I first had the opportunity to volunteer with Habitat for Humanity, I actually envisioned more pounding nails and painting walls. And I was a little disappointed that I couldn't get on a work site during COVID. But instead they said, well, you can volunteer for Zoom meetings with family support. Well, I wondered how Zoom meetings could build a house, but I was pleasantly surprised to learn all of the different things that the Family Support Committee does, and learned about mini splits and appliances and the pros and cons of butcher block countertops. And more importantly, I've now met two really wonderful future homeowners. Almost as soon as Emily and Patrick got started as future homeowners, some unanticipated events threw a series of obstacles at them. I was amazed at their ability to handle not just those obstacles themselves, and those unforeseen events, but also continue to make all the decisions that they needed to make, to take all the steps that they needed to take in order to remain engaged, to handle their responsibilities, and to move their home ownership project forward. They are amazing, and I'm so happy to introduce you all to Emily and Patrick.
And Emily and Patrick, if you want to add anything, you're welcome to.
Thank you so much. We are so grateful for all of the people who, hi Joe, and see, we are so grateful to everyone who have really contributed to this project and to have helped out and volunteered. We were amazed at the volunteers that showed up on the wall raising day. It was just so impressive to us that everyone was so happy to be there, and to meet our future neighbors was really something that was, you can't really describe it. It was a wonderful experience.
I just want to also thank everybody involved. I mean, Donna and Megan and Brian and, you know, the counselors, the mayor. I mean, everyone is just making us feel so welcome. And just the opportunity that Habitat for Humanity presented us is just like, I still like pinch myself, is this real? You know, it's just, you know, I'm so blessed and honored. And I mean, I'm running out of adjectives to be thankful for. I'm just, like I said, I could never thank anybody I missed. Please understand, I thank them too. It's just that, you know, I just, limited time and whatnot. I can't thank everybody, but I really do. So just thank you for this opportunity.
Your gratitude is abundantly clear, and we're so happy to welcome you to this project and look forward to working with you throughout the next year.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce our next mentor, Mary Beth, who is going to introduce C and Joe.
Hello, I'm Mary Beth. It's wonderful and nice to see everyone, and even nicer to be here at such a fun event, the wall raising event. Having always supported and admired Habitat for Humanity, I'm now just thrilled to be an active part in their mission to aid those in accessing permanent housing. So I would like to introduce Joe and C, our new homeowners for this Broughton Meadows. And having worked with them and helping them through this sweat equity process in the last few months, you know, I just really have to say that it's just been such a joy to meet you both and to work with you both. You have such happy enthusiasm for the process, and you are sincere, caring, thoughtful individuals. And I know that you're just going to make great neighbors and be such a wonderful part of your new community. So it's an exciting day for wall raising and just the beginning, the start of building your new, beautiful, loving home. So here are C and Joe.
Okay, now here. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Thank you so much for having us here and just in general for everything you're doing. It's too much to hold, really. I don't know what to say except thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, really looking forward to, you know, meeting our neighbors. That's exciting. We've got a lot of the same challenges. It's going to be really great to, I don't know, have people right there that know what you're going through. You know, it's just really wonderful. And I still can't believe, you know, every single morning I'm just like, is that real? So
it's very real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, and the I'm so happy to be doing this, but part of that is my war face. Like, this is terrifying. Yeah, this was very, but I'm so glad to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And sorry we put you on the spot. You know, we really appreciate that you guys are going to be putting in time over the next year to help with the building of your house and the behind the scenes things that it takes to build a house and understand it as well. Sweat equity is a complicated, well, not too complicated, but it has many facets. It's not just the swinging of the hammer. It's also understanding how a house is built and how you're going to live in the house in the future. And I think that all of these future homeowners are going to get to see those many sides of participating in this build. So thank you all. I'd love to introduce another of our family mentors. And I also just want to say thank you, Mary Beth, for making time for Habitat. Yeah, I'm glad that this has become one of your projects. All of you mentors are just amazing people as well. So Leah, without further ado, if you'd like to introduce Catherine, that would be lovely.
Sure, I'm Leah, hi. And I joined Habitat as a volunteer a few months ago and became a member of the Family Support Committee. And so I'm mentoring future homeowner Catherine. And I found that she's very enthusiastic and conscientious. And I'm really looking forward to supporting her through the ongoing process to home ownership.
Thank you, Leah. Catherine, would you like to add anything?
Sure. Well, I too kind of am pinching myself every day because it's so hard to believe. And when I think about like hundreds of people who have this need and that I got chosen, it's like my heart just overflows with gratitude every single day. And I'm so grateful for Megan and Amy and Leah and for tolerating me because I want to know everything, and I feel like I've bombarded y'all with lots of questions and you've been very patient with me and calming me down when I get a little anxious. How am I going to do all the sweat equity hours? And so the support has been really lovely, and I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. And I don't really know what I would do otherwise, as far as, because my home doesn't work out because of my medical issues. So yeah, I just can't say enough how grateful I am. This is such a blessing, such a miracle. And that the community comes together and helps each other out is just so heartwarming. So thank you all.
And thank
and
you,
I'm looking
Catherine.
forward to meeting my neighbors too. This is really kind of cool, getting a little glimpse of you. So it'll be nice to get to know you. Thank you.
Well, I'm so excited to get to know all the future homeowners as well as I think everyone on this call is. So we all want to welcome you to Northampton. We want to invite your friends and your families. Everyone here is now an ambassador for Habitat and can go recruit some volunteers. And we hope to be seeing your faces a year or so from now, next spring, when we dedicate these homes to these 3 future homeowner families. It's so exciting to be building 3 one-story accessible homes that have the potential for zero net energy, that are just big enough. They're not going to be fancy, but they are going to be the place for these families to call home. And I hope that that is something that we can all sort of hold in our hearts as we move forward and face other challenges. But sometimes you get to pick up the saw and take that first step towards raising a wall and making a home for someone. So thank you all for your contributions to making that happen. Feel free to add a few more words in the chat for the future homeowners. And that concludes our program. Thank you all.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. And if anybody wants to say something to each other, you can unmute at this point. It's a free for all. So. Bye, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks all for being here.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.